What most new French students should learn is that English and French are quite similar languages. They share more than 1,000 cognates, or loaned words, that share spelling and definition. The vast number of cognates exist because of how often the history of England and France intertwined. The defining era that shaped these two languages' similarities was the occupation of England by the Norman French in the 1100s. In 1066, William the Conqueror led the Normans to victory over the Anglo-Saxons in England and started the French occupation of England. We can see some of these events depicted here in the Bayeux Tapestry. The Bayeux Tapestry is a 230-foot-long embroidered cloth that shares the beginning of William the Conqueror's life all the way to the end of his reign as King of England. William conquered England and imparted upon its government a much more French establishment. This caused the aristocracy to adopt most all French customs and, most importantly, the French language. Law French was the official manifestation of this influence. All courts between 1066 and 1688 were held in Law French, and many words are still used today, such as appeal, arrest, counsel, debtor, demand, larceny, nuisance, suit, and verdict. At this time, the average poor person would speak English, the rich aristocracy spoke French, and the clergy Latin. This led to what we refer to as triplicate synonymy. Triplicate synonymy is a rare linguistic pattern that is found in English. Triplicate synonymy means that a word usually has 3 synonyms, and each synonym has an etymological background found in 3 different languages. A good example of this can be found in the words regal, royal, and kingly, regal having a Latin root, royal having a French root, and kingly having an Old English root. It is during this time we start to see Middle English, an English that resembles our own modern English. Before Middle English, we find Old English, an English that most modern English speakers probably couldn't even begin to decipher. It is with the integration of French by way of Norman French and Law French that we start to see a language that resembles our own today.
My name is Vincent, and this is my friend Tracy, and we are here to talk about cognates. In French, we call cognates the vrais amis, and the vrais amis is a French word for a true friend. A cognate is a word that is the same both in French and in English. Previously in this video, we were discussing that the language of English was heavily influenced by the Norman French language in the 1100s by the Norman occupation of England by France, by William the Conqueror. The most prominent usage of Norman French can be found in a lot of English names that are truly derived from French. The 3 big words, the 3 big names that are used are William, Robert, and Richard. Today we are going to share with you some cognates that derive from Norman French, and we're going to show you the French word and the English word. Tracy?
First word on our list is fashion. And as you know, fashion is kind of like what you're wearing, the styles people have on their own.
Yes, the word fashion comes from the Norman French word façon, and the French version of this word is façon. Tracy?
Well, the next word is cherries, as in the little red fruits that sometimes come on the top of sundae.
Yes, the word cherries, it comes from the Norman French word cherries, and in French we call cherries, we call them the cerise.
Well, the next word is poor, as in you're not rich, you don't have money, and you can hardly afford the Big Mac.
That is very true, Tracy. The Norman French word is peur, and in French we say pauvre.
Right, and the final word is war. I guess you can play war with the cowboys and Indian toys, and little kids do that all the time. It's like a fight.
Yes, very nice, Tracy. The Norman French word that war comes from is were, which in French we change the first letter of this word to a G. It is called a G in your language?
Yeah, that's right.
We call a G a G. But in French we change it to a G, and it is pronounced guerre.
Well, that's different.
Thank you, Tracy. As I said before, the cognates in French are very useful to an English speaker because when you start to learn the French language, you already have a very large vocabulary. And even more luckily, some words in French and in English are pronounced exactly the same. These French cognates are pronounced exactly the same. I said it again.
Woo! What sort of words?
The first word I want to share with you is mirage. Mirage is like something you see in the desert when you are thirsty and you are dying and you see an oasis of water, and but it's not true. It is a mirage. You actually die in the desert.
Yeah, we've got that word too, mirage.
Mirage.
It's the same thing.
Okay,
Huh.
Can you share any with me, Tracy?
Another word, I mean. Well, let's see, how about genre?
The genre? What is genre?
It's like a categorization of
Okay.
music. They do that a lot.
Yes, we say genre. This is the same. A word we use a lot more in French than you guys seem to use in English is accord. An accord is like an agreement. When you say I agree, you say je suis d'accord. You say I agree, je suis d'accord. Do you say accord much in English?
Well, me personally, I don't say accord much, but I know that there have been instances in movies where they strike an accord or something like that.
That seems true. And there is the Honda Accord. This is the car.
I don't speak car.
Okay. Can you share another one with us, Tracy, before we move on?
Well, kind of related to genre in music, how about album?
An album? Yes, we say album. Very much. Very good. Let's see if we can just go into the next one. But sometimes in French, you don't get to say the words exactly the same. Some cognates, you have to pronounce them very differently between the two languages.
Well, the first word that starts into these categories is nature. And I'm pretty sure most of you know what nature is. You go outside where there's trees and birds and sunshine, and you see the woods. That's nature.
Well, in our language, we do not say nature.
Nature.
Yes, we say nature. It is nature. That is how we pronounce it in French.
All right. Well, the next one is button, and a button are these things on a shirt. They keep things closed. They can be on backpack, shoes.
I think what she means is a bouton. In French, we call them the bouton.
Well, I call it a button.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, how about a table? A table is where you sit, you eat on it. It's a surface to put things on top of, or like a desk.
Oui. In French, we call this the table. This is a table.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty close. Not really, but it's a table. All right, how about the last one, hour? Like a time of the day. The hour is 1 o'clock. The hour of dinner is usually 5 or something. It's a time of the day, a period.
Okay. I cannot say your word of hour, but we say heure. It is you say it is 2:30, you would say 2:30. As I said before, when you are learning French as an English speaker, it is very useful that you already start with all of these cognates, all of these words that you can use in your French vocabulary. But sometimes it is important to learn what we are going to discuss now, which is a false cognate. A false cognate is something that it seems like it is the same in both languages, but in actuality, they are very, very different. In French, we call this word faux ami, which means a false friend. The first word I want to share with you is blesser, which sounds very much like the English word bless. In French, blesser means to injure or wound or hurt somebody.
Well, that's not what bless means at all. Bless is kind of like wishing some goodwill towards someone. It's a good thing, not injury.
Yes, they are very different. It's a very good example of a false cognate. The next word I'm going to share with you is not quite as grave or sad. It is a magasin, which sounds very much like the English word magazine. A magasin in French is something, it is a store. A store is you go somewhere to buy something like a shirt with buttons or just anything that you need.
Well, a magazine is kind of like a little book that you can get at the store. It'll have like information about celebrities or recipes, weight loss tips, things like that.
Okay. Well, in French, we do not use magazine as the word very much. We usually say a revue or a périodique. The final word, which is very similar to the first one, but is very different, is that it is menteur, which sounds very much like mentor. A menteur is a liar. It is someone who does not tell the truth and is not very trustworthy.
And that's not someone you want to be your mentor, because a mentor is supposed to help you along the way and guide you in the right direction, not a liar.
Well, these are our false cognates. But I thank you very much, Tracy. You were very useful in sharing the differences and similarities in our two beautiful languages.
Oh, shucks, Vincent. It was my pleasure.